Genetics Test Section 2, Proficient. Number 1. Which of the following best describes the formation of a zygote? A. A sperm cell nucleus and an egg cell nucleus fuse, come together. B. A cell's DNA replication and mitosis are accelerated. C. A succession of cell divisions produces a solid mass of cells. D. A cell with 46 chromosomes divides to form cells with 23 chromosomes each. Number 2. Crayfish live in water and often hide under rocks or plants. They come out to look for food and will eat both plants and animals. Which of these is a trait that a crayfish most likely inherits from its parents? A. The average distance it travels each day. B. The number of legs it has. C. The amount of food it eats each day. Or D. The type of plants in its habitat. Number 3. A scientist observes sea otters using rocks to break open clamshells. Which of these investigations would best help the scientist determine whether this skill is a learned or an inherited behavior? A. Determining what sizes and kinds of rocks are used most often by sea otters. B. Determining whether shellfish are an important food source in the diet of sea otters. C. Raising young sea otters away from adult otters that use rocks and observing whether the young otters use rocks. D. Observing families of sea otters over time to see whether adults that use rocks have offspring that use rocks. Number 4. The following picture shows a sea star. 2 new sea stars can be produced by dividing one sea star in half. Which type of reproduction is described above? A. Sexual. B. Cloning. C. Asexual. D. External. Number 5. The diagrams represent the way that 3 different organisms reproduce. We have a hydra, a sea star, and a planaria. Which of these classifies the reproductive method of all the organisms shown above? A. Segmentation. B. Budding. C. Asexual reproduction. Or D. Sexual reproduction. Number 6. Which statement describes asexual and sexual reproduction? A. Asexual is one part of sexual reproduction. B. Sexual reproduction happens before asexual. C. Asexual needs one parent and sexual needs 2 parents. D. Sexual happens only in animals and asexual happens only in plants. Number 7. Compared to sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction results in A. A greater variation in offspring. B. Larger number of identical cells. C. Longer lifespan of a cell. Or D. Fewer number of cells dividing. Number 8. Which of the following must all plant and animal species do in order for each species to survive? A. Migrate. B. Reproduce. C. Make food. Or D. Change color. Number 9. Paramecia reproduce both sexually and asexually. One way to see if a given paramecium is the product of sexual or asexual reproduction is to A. See whether its genes are identical to those of its parents. B. Check for traits that are beneficial to its survival. C. Check for traits that are not beneficial to its survival. D. Test it for acquired characteristics. Number 10. The picture below shows a squirrel. The fur color of the squirrel is determined by A. Genes that came only from its mother. B. Genes that came only from its father. C. A combination of genes that came from its siblings. D. A combination of genes that came from both of its parents. Number 11. During which process does genetic material come from two parents? A. Asexual reproduction, B. Photosynthesis, C. Respiration, or D. Sexual reproduction. Number 12. One example of a trait passed from a parent plant to its offspring is A. The amount of water in the plant's environment, B. The amount of sunlight shining on the plant, C. The color of the flowers on the plant, D. The nutrients in the soil where the plant grows. Number 13. Which of the following characteristics of a field mouse is most likely inherited from its parents? A. Brown fur, B. Torn ear, C. Scar on its leg, D. Chipped tooth. Number 14. Which is a learned behavior? A. Being colorblind, B. Riding a bicycle, C. Having large hands, or D. Having brown hair. Number 15. Which of the following was probably inherited? A. A human child riding a bike to school, B. A young bear going to campsites to find food, C. A baby horse having a white stripe in its black hair, D. A young chimpanzee making a tool to catch termites. Number 16. The diagram below shows the formation of a zygote from an egg and a sperm. Chromosomes carry genetic information. Which reproduction concept does the diagram show? A. All the genetic information in a zygote is from one parent. B. All the genetic information in sperm is from both parents. C. Fertilization results in a reduced number of chromosomes. D. The zygote is composed of 50% DNA from each parent. And number 17. The illustration below shows how a strawberry plant reproduces to form a new plant. Below, identify if the plant is reproducing asexually or sexually. Then describe how the new plant compares genetically with the parent plant for 2 points. Once you are finished with your test, please take it over to Mrs. Klosterman.